In sickness and in health, a phrase used to describe the hardships that relationships have to endure. But in this country, not all couples have this right. Arshiya Takkar and Chand Chopra are a queer couple living in New Delhi. Together for more than a decade now, Arshiya and Chand held a commitment ceremony with their loved ones before formally tying the knot in New Zealand. Despite being together for over a decade, when either person falls sick, the other one cannot legally consent for their treatment. The couple has approached the Delhi High Court for medical rights for queer couples.
We live as any other couple does. We share the same joys and the same challenges that you have in a day-to-day life together. And but what's different is that we don't get the package of rights that are, taken for granted a lot of times by heterosexual couples, and specifically medical rights. We are the closest people to each other. We live together. For me, it was always a cause of concern that what happens when there is a medical emergency. By law, I don't have the right to execute any sort of consent for her, and that is what we're simply asking for.
However, a lot still has to be figured out with respect to who it is that can give this right.
So the two ways are, of course, a power of attorney, saying when I fall sick, hereby nominate person Y to take a decision for me. If I can't even have a basic right as to decide for myself who I value and respect to take that medical decision for me, and instead force me to look for family members or a doctor, an impersonal person who I don't know, that to me is contrary to every constitutional value.
The centre's key arguments center around how the Indian law does not recognize marriage between same-sex couples and how the medical regulations of 2002 also prohibit unmarried heterosexual couples from granting consent for their partners. The Delhi High Court has asked the centre to file a reply asking why the right does not extend to queer couples. Same-sex marriage is not recognized in India. Whatever is available to everyone who is not married is available to them. Supreme Court has already ordered that Union Government will constitute a committee chaired by the Cabinet Secretary for the purpose of defining and elucidating scope of entitlements of queer couples who are in unions.
If the Supreme Court and I think the society in general accepts our relationship as something to be celebrated and a fundamental right actually to a relationship, then what is coming out of this relationship other than just sitting at home and looking at each other? We have to live in a society. When we live in a society, we have basic rights that we expect as members of the society, as tax-paying citizens of the society. And if we have to fight for every little thing from the government, then what is this fundamentally recognized relationship that is existing in a vacuum?
Arshiya and Chand's love story has not just travelled from New Delhi to New Zealand. It's also endured challenges, both legal and emotional. While the law does not give the couple medical or marriage rights, they hold on to each other like many others of their community, holding true to the maxim in sickness and in health. This is Reet Sahni reporting for NDTV.